welcome back, romantic home family, and welcome if y'all are new, and welcome into another fall crafting and decorating video. In today's video, we're going to be making these beautiful fall candlesticks as well as a shabby chic garland, and I'm going to be creating a really fun little thrift flip with some curtains in my kitchen. So if you guys love to craft and decorate on a budget, consider subscribing to my YouTube channel and pop over to my Olivia's Romantic Home DIY Facebook page where I share daily crafting inspiration with you guys. Guys, how gorgeous did these turn out? Now, if you're not a fan of pink, just use your orange pumpkins and your creativity. Without further ado, let's go ahead and plug in those glue guns, get out your glitter and paint, and let's get to crafting. Okay, my sweet and beautiful friends, starting out strong with these candlesticks I had thrifted from the thrift store and painted gold. This one I have a vintage plate on top, and then I'm just going to hot glue some of these kind of greenish muted colored leaves and then pop on my pink pumpkin. Listen, this is a dollar store pumpkin that I painted pink with some acrylic pink paint. I also shared with you guys another video where I painted some pink leaves, again with just some craft store paint. So you can just add in, now these little berries that are kind of white with the leaves, those are from Hobby Lobby, and I used them in my big fall display last year, and they're so gorgeous, and I felt like they were perfect for this display. I wanted it to have a lot of pink accents, but I also wanted to bring in those muted colors for fall. Now you guys know I love traditional fall as well, and I have done several of these blooming pumpkin candlesticks with traditional fall colors, so pop back and watch some of my videos from the past. In fact, I'll probably repost one for you guys. Now here is my other little candlestick. Again, this is a thrifted candle, and I simply painted it pink along the little swirl lines and then added in some gold leafing. I think I did that last year, and again just layered some pumpkins and leaves. Here is the final look. I'm not for sure if I'm going to keep them here. I feel like maybe I'm starting to overcrowd this section of my living room, and I always do that with this section of my living room. Let me know in the comment section, what do you guys think about this so far? I'm also going to be kind of revealing to you guys a little bit more of how my living room is coming along. It's not quite there yet, and I feel like I'm a little bit at a stopping point. And there's Bitchy Beer. So here's how everything's looking so far. I did take down the wallpaper. I do want to do something different with those lamps. I want to add a cozy rug underneath this dining room table, but I'm really trying to be mindful. My daughter is back to school. You guys know I'm helping put her through school along with her dad, and so that tuition is a little bit pricey, guys, and so just trying to be mindful of that and then also save up for the off season. But anyway, okay, so for this next DIY, we are going to take this thrifted curtain. Now, I found 2 panels of these, pink and white check, and I'm just going to simply cut the top part off and then cut out actually the part that is the room darkening panel. This is going to go in my dining room, in this little side spot in my dining room. I don't need it to be dark. In fact, it's already kind of darkened because there is kind of a patio cover, and so I want this door to get actually a little bit more light. Also at the thrift store, I found this bed ruffle, so I cut the bed ruffle off of the original bed ruffle part, and I'm hot gluing that to this curtain. Now this curtain was too short, so I wanted to make it longer, and then using this Priscilla curtain, I cut that as well to give it a ruffle to cover up the weird edges from me hot gluing. Now I have hot glued curtains before. The trick to this when you need to wash them is just don't dry them and wash them on cold. So make sure you're not drying your hot glued curtains and just wash them on cold. They should hold up for a bit. Now, I know this isn't probably a grand solution for the future, but if you guys know me, I'm probably going to get bored of them. And this is all basically thrifted stuff that I'm just kind of repurposing to make into a fancy curtain. You guys, I have been looking at fancy curtains online, and I want something so badly that has that really fancy
look, I found some on Amazon and it's like $250 for maybe a set, and that is way out of my budget. So I'm just going to use what I have and make it fancy. Now, I did have this kind of really pretty curtain valance that I am going to add to the top. And how gorgeous does this look, you guys? And then I made it longer and then cover that with a ruffle. Here's the final look. I am going to pan around this part of my dining room and living room to show you guys. We'll go back to the curtain, I promise. But remember kind of that Ritz Paris inspiration. So here's how that curtain looks. I did leave it a little bit longer. I think it looks really pretty. Now there is a weird seam in the center that I had to hot glue, but I mean, I don't know. I think it looks okay, but give me some grace. What do you guys think? Have you ever tried this technique? You guys know I have tried sewing and I am just not patient about it. My eyes don't work. I just really struggle with sewing, but I'm still hot gluing things. So anyway, and also apologies. The ragweed in our area is really bad, and you can probably hear that in this voiceover. So I'm so sorry my voice is sniffly, but I still wanted to get this video out to you guys. Here's the next DIY. I'm taking this beautiful thrifted, actually, my sweet friend Lorena had thrifted this, but it's a thrifted Rachel Ashwell sheet, and I've already been using it for crafts, so don't come for me. I'm cutting this sheet up, but I'm going to cut it up into 3 inches by 30-inch sections, and I also had to do a little bit shorter ones, but we're going to make a garland. So I cut tons of them, probably about 24 strips, and then I cut about 6 to 8 strips of the longer ones to make a bow. So I'm going to take just this piece of, it's actually part of the top part of the sheet, and I'm going to make these tassels. So you're just going to take it and create a little kind of hole there, if you guys can see, and then just loop your ribbon through that hole. And you're going to do that over and over and over again. And you can trim your tassels if you want to, but this is going to create a really beautiful garland. And once I had all the tassels tied on, I went ahead and started tying my bow. I counted about 10 strips of tassels and then added one of the big bows. Now the bows is a 3-inch by 60-inch cut, so it's quite a bit longer to give it kind of that big bow garland effect. I think that these would be super, super cute in a girl's bedroom. And I actually wanted to make this much longer and maybe use on my mantle here in my crafting studio. But I ran out of energy after doing all of these crafts. And cutting strips takes a lot longer than you think. So anyway, and I think this would also be really cute with different types of fabric. Like if you broke it up and used laces and some different other types of fabric. I did want it to just kind of be like a little bow curtain neutral look, I guess. Just for me, but you guys could really have so much fun with it. I'm always on the lookout when I go to the thrift stores. I'm always on the lookout for fabric. I am kind of a little bit of a fabric junkie. Confession here. It's probably what I hoard the most. I try to keep things under control with crafting supplies, but fabric is my weak spot. Look at how cute this came out, you guys. I love how full it looks. I feel like I can also kind of like use it here in my kitchen. I don't want to get it wet. It might help protect my cabinets, but it also might get wet in this spot or be annoying when I'm washing my dishes because I don't have a dishwasher. I took my dishwasher out, and that's for another story. But how cute is this? I think it looks adorable. Let me know in the comment section if you guys are going to try something like this. Do you like it here, or should I move it, make it longer, and put it somewhere else? I just thought it looked really cute here and gave this space a little bit of character. Here's the overview. That little scrolly detail above my door, that was given to me by my sweet friend Pam. I still need to replace. I had a beautiful rug that one of you guys sent me from last season, but the dogs tore it up. So anyway, I need to get a new rug underneath my table. Let me know, what color do you think that rug should be? Should I try to match it up with this other rug that's in the living room? Here's how my living room is coming along so far. I need a little cute pillow for that chair that's like a shabby chic kind of ruffly pillow. And then here's Mr. Benji Bear. He loves you guys. Woof woof.
So thank you all so much for joining me on another fun and fabulous crafting and decorating adventure. Let me know in the comment section, what was your favorite DIY in this video and which one will you be recreating, or what are you all working on in your current fall crafting and decorating? I just love to hear what you guys are up to. Now let's go ahead and pop into our little devotional. This is out of Bible in a Year. I kind of had lost this one on accident. Anyway, I have multiple devotionals that I'm doing right now and Bible studies, so please give me some grace. But this one is going to be on week 25. If you guys are wondering where to get this, you can grab it off of TikTok Shop. It's like $8. Not sponsored or anything, just something I picked up. So this one is out of obedience, or this one is talking about obedience. Obedience is the active expression of our love for God and trust in His wisdom. It demonstrates the reality of our faith and opens the door to experiencing God's best for our lives. Love in action. Jesus establishes the fundamental connection between love and obedience. If you love me, keep my commands. And that's John 14:15. This simple statement revolutionizes our understanding of obedience, transforming it from duty to devotion. Like a marriage where acts of love flow naturally from the heart's affection, true obedience springs from genuine love for God rather than mere rule keeping. Samuel's declaration that obedience is better than sacrifice in 1 Samuel 15:22 challenges our tendency to substitute religious activity for actual obedience. God desires heart-level submission more than external compliance. Like a parent who values a child's willing cooperation over forced conformity, God seeks obedience that flows from relationships rather than obligation. The Apostles' bold statement that we must obey God rather than human beings in Acts 5:29 reminds us that obedience to God sometimes requires courage to stand against cultural pressure. This isn't about being rebellious, but about maintaining ultimate allegiance to God. Like a compass that always points north, regardless of surrounding conditions, we're obedient. This isn't about being rebellious, but about maintaining ultimate allegiance to God. Like a compass that always points north, regardless of surrounding conditions, our obedience to God must remain steady despite competing demands. Jesus is teaching that whoever has my commands and keeps them is the one who loves me. And that's John 14:23 through 24, further reinforces that obedience is the authentic expression of love for God. This involves both knowing and doing God's will. Like musicians who must both understand and execute the music to create harmony, we need both knowledge of God's will and commitment to doing it. And the weekly blessing for this one says, may love motivate your obedience this week as you follow God's leading with a willing and joyful heart. So I hope that this blesses you. In fact, this was such a good Bible study for me to read because I think that there is something I need to be fasting and praying about. yeah, so I'll kind of update you guys once I feel comfortable. I have kind of been in a little bit of a situation where I just feel like it might not be the right fit for me. It's not a relationship, but more of a work thing that I had taken on over the summer. So if you guys want to, just say some little prayers for me that I'm able to get with the Lord and find out what is the correct next step for me in my just in walking with the Lord and what I do for work. So anyway, I love you guys. I am going to be here on YouTube no matter what, and Facebook, posting on Instagram and TikTok, keeping you guys inspired to craft and decorate on a budget, because it is what I am passionate about. It's what fills my heart. And I think it also is good for your mental health. I think crafting and decorating for me just helps alleviate so much stress and pressure, and it brings me joy. So if you guys are maybe having a hard time, if you're finding yourself going through a hard time, grab a bucket of paint, grab some thrift store curtains, and start chopping and painting. When I mean chopping, I mean with your scissors, or get out a cookbook, or whatever makes your heart just feel delighted. The other day I just went out and I just started pulling weeds, and that made my heart happy. I call it housing about. It's something I love to do and I'm passionate about, and I'm so thankful and grateful, blessed that you guys watch my videos and you're inspired to house about. And trust me when I see you guys' comments that so many of you have said that I have taught you or encouraged you on different things as far as crafting, decorating, and just homemaking in general. I think one of the biggest things to remember is our home is our personal oasis. When we come home from work or school or whatever we have going on, or we're just maybe stay at home, mamas or grandmas or whatever, we need to make this space a space that makes us feel safe. I am focused on making my home feel like a safe space this year, meaning when I come home, I can recharge my battery, I can feel joy and happiness and peace. I'm going to paint it whatever color I love. I'm going to decorate it however I love. So this is an outpouring of my heart. So you guys can go back and watch 8 years worth of my content. I do a lot of traditional fall and traditional Christmas. This year I'm leaning more into pastels because it is what is happening in my heart, is just becoming so much softer, and I just want that comfort around me. I have gone through a big healing journey in the last couple of years with some major losses and major changes in my life, and I have just really stepped into being 50 years old and an empty nester, and just freed myself from the obligation of trying to please anybody or anything. And not that I don't want to conform, but that I just want to express who I am through my decor in my own home. So I hope this encourages you guys. I love you to the moon and back. I hope you have a gorgeous, fabulous, blessed day. I'm gonna hug all of your hearts so tight. If you guys need prayer, drop those prayer requests down below. And until our next video, be kind to yourselves, be kind to one another. I'll talk to you guys very soon.